on the front of his computer.
Why don't you just move, because there's frosting all over the bottom of this.
Okay.
Spectacular interruption here.
Hey, look, guys. And I haven't been on your channel yet. Hi, I'm the Grand After.
Actually, she has been on the channel a few times.
What is it, Rosie Draws?
Playing piano. But that's our Grand After spectacular baking going on here.
Rosie. We'll call her Rosie.
Yeah, or the Angry Rose, as her channel used to say.
Used to be, yes, but she's been going by Rosie mostly on the internet.
Rosie Rose or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. It's better than being a dumb one. All right, welcome back. Yay. Welcome back to the Intelligent Donkey. And we're with Luna Rosa once again.
Me.
Yep, the Dafter. And if you hear noises in the background, that's the Grand Dafter.
Mm-hmm. She's baking a cake.
She's baking a cake for a friend's wedding.
Yay!
Yay!
Her first wedding cake. I'm so excited. She wants to be a baker.
Yeah, she wants to be a baker anyway, and she would be spectacular at it.
Yep.
All right, we've talked many times on this channel about my favorite bands, and this is no exception.
Yep.
But we haven't done much. We have done some, but we haven't done a lot of Kansas. Mm-hmm. The Kansas stuff that we have done has been split between you and Nana from Nana's Shenanigans, a.k.a. my wife, a.k.a. her mom. And they haven't been, they haven't got a lot of views, but that's partly because the songs that we've done so far are from their more recent era. And by that I mean anything from the 90s, quite frankly, on up. The early stuff, their classic stuff, I'm going to guess, would get much more views. Now, here's the twist I'm going to put on that, because what we're going to do here is we're going to put together a string of Kansas videos. We're going to do actually a grand total, I think, well, it's going to be more than 17. Kansas has been around now for 50 years.
Oh, wow. This year is their 50th year? Okay.
Yep.
2024?
And they actually go back a little bit further than that, because it's been 50 years since they put out their first album. They recorded the bulk of their first album in 1973.
Oh,
actually.
Okay. So
Kansas, without going into more detail than what I need to, was actually the amalgamation of two bands that formed earlier than that yet, and then they got together. They changed their name twice and finally landed on Kansas again.
Okay.
And they went through, they went for their first, from 1974 with their first album through 1980 at least, with their seventh album with the same lineup. But then all of a sudden they went through a whole bunch of lineup changes in the 80s and 90s.
Okay.
And they didn't put out any new material in the 2000s.
Okay.
In fact, there was a huge 16-year gap between their 2000 album and their 2016 album.
Well, yeah.
But believe it or not, they are still together.
Okay.
The main problem is that they are on the verge of becoming a tribute band. They are still my second favorite band. That's probably not going to change, even with all the spectacular new music by the bands that have that they've influenced over the years, including Dream Theater, who has actually cited them as one of their influences.
That's awesome.
But the clock is ticking, basically. The third longest running member of the band, somebody who was not an original member but joined them in the 80s, was Billy Greer. Now, he didn't die or anything like that.
Okay.
In fact, only one original member of the band has died, and that is the violinist and also second lead vocalist, Robbie Steinhardt. But Billy Greer has left Kansas.
Oh, like recently?
He just retired.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about within the last about a month and a half ago.
So nobody in the group currently is from
Nope,
the original.
There is two.
Okay.
There are still two original members in the band. Drummer Phil Ehart, who is technically the leader of the band and has been all along.
Okay.
And Rich Williams, the guitarist, who was he's been the lead guitarist, off and on lead guitarist, but mostly he's been the rhythm and acoustic guitarist for Kansas. When you hear the song "Dust in the Wind," probably one of their best known songs, you're hearing two people play acoustic guitar, and one of them is Rich Williams.
Oh, okay. Now I've heard of Greer.
Billy Greer?
Billy Greer. That name sounds familiar. I might be thinking of Richard Greer.
Or something.
Who's
Billy Greer played bass.
Also a really good singer.
Replacing original bassist Dave Hope from 1982, I think? No, 83.
I gotta stop yawning.
Yeah, 83, I think.
Okay.
Until earlier this year.
Okay.
Like that. Now he's being replaced. I don't know the name of the new bassist. If you have the name of the new bassist, go ahead and put him in the comments.
Yes, please.
Like that. But here's the deal. Knowing that the clock is ticking and that Kansas will likely be no more, sometime the next, I'd give them 2 or maybe at the most 3 years.
Okay.
To go before they really do become completely a tribute band.
So a tribute band is just what is a tribute band exactly?
A tribute band is simply a cover band that plays nothing but, or almost nothing but, just one particular band's
So you're saying like
music.
if the other two leave and other members would
or
come
die or something like that. I mean, as morbid as it is to talk about, we've had, Phil Ehart in particular has had a number of very severe health problems as drummer like that, and he's been Captain Thunder since the band began.
Okay.
He has been one of the two constants all the while, but who knows how long he's going to last with the band, particularly since he's actually had to have a few absences from the band. They had to have a different drummer fill in.
Oh man.
And their
Okay.
concert
So yeah,
tours.
you probably are right with your predictions.
All right. Kansas has produced, I think, it's either 17 or 18 total studio albums over their career with all the various lineups like that.
Okay.
And what I've done is I've put together a ranked list of albums. This is not going to be ranking the albums or even ranking the songs until we get a little bit closer anyway to the top of the list when we do some of the ones from the top albums. So what we're actually going to do is a worst to first reaction. It'll be a reaction for you, at least,
Okay.
of songs from each of those albums going up the list. So we're going to start at the bottom.
Okay,
We're
so
gonna
this is
start
the
with
worst song from the worst album, or just the worst song from?
Or a song
Okay.
from the worst album.
Oh,
So
a song from the worst album. Okay.
So we're gonna.
I smell what the rock
as
is cooking.
as we climb the list, we're going to show you, of course, that list as we ascend, like that. When we get to where there's just 2 left, I'm not going to show you number 2 right off the bat. We're going to go through some songs from both it and the number 1 album in a more or less random order. And then show you how I used that as criteria for eventually breaking what was almost a tie
Okay.
between the number 1 and number 2 albums. There was no doubt to me as to which album belonged on the bottom.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it was their 1998 album, Always Never the Same.
Always Never. Okay, so that's the name of the album.
That's the name of the album.
So now, is this your favorite song from that album, or?
It's one of the, well, here's the thing. The Always Never the Same album was very unusual because what it was an album of mostly self-covers. So it's almost like a compilation album, but done with an orchestra.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you right now, I love when rock bands play with an orchestra.
Yeah.
You've heard how much we gush over Dream Theater and Nightwish And even Guns N' Roses, as you saw last week,
Yep.
even though we're recording this video on the same day as that
I'm not
one.
wearing the same outfit. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. I love it when bands play with orchestras, and some bands have done it spectacularly well. Some bands have not done it spectacularly well. And that's despite the fact that Kansas has actually recorded a couple of albums, including a live album. This is not a live album, but they've
Okay.
recorded a couple of live albums with an orchestra. They're not bad. This album really just isn't.
Okay.
But what we're going to do here is not listen to one of the mostly just self-covers. There is one actual cover of a Beatles song, no less,
Oh, fun.
on there too. But this is a studio album.
Okay.
And they have 2 new songs on it. And I chose one.
One of the new songs.
One of
Okay.
the new songs called Need to Know. It's not the greatest song in the world, but it is certainly not a slouch.
Okay.
For Always Never the Same, the lineup of the band consisted of original members Steve Walsh on lead vocals, Rich Williams on guitar, and Phil Ehart on the drums.
Okay.
They had Billy Greer on the bass
Okay.
at this point. Steve Walsh also played keyboards. He plays the organ on here. And we had Robbie Steinhardt had come back. It was like a partial reunion.
Oh, maybe
in other
that's why
words.
they did the cover songs, because they had the group back together, as it
Yeah,
were.
and Robbie stuck around for a couple more albums
Okay.
after this. But this song, called Need to Know, is one of the only 2 songs on the album that was new. And it had, the video that I found here appears to have been a fan-made video, and at the end of the video we'll call up the credits for it to see what it is. It's a lyric video like
All
this. So
right.
we're going to fire up Need to Know
Okay.
from Always Never the Same by Kansas.
Love the album cover.
How do I know if what you say is real? How do I know if that's the way you feel? You're the only one who's seen me in the dark hours, in the kitchen chair. Are you still there? You still care? That's all I really need to know.
He does have a beautiful voice.
He does, which, and the irony of your saying that is that this was pretty much the low point of his vocal career,
Really?
because after years of substance abuse, mostly snow, his voice was shot
Yeah.
compared to the way he was able to sing prior to this. At least, or prior to his to the 1995 album, which you'll hear somewhere around the middle of the list.
Okay.
Going
Well,
up here.
right now his voice is very clear.
Right.
Like I'm not very. I don't know a lot about the range and things like that. That people
Right.
like. I can hear it sometimes,
But it is pretty clear.
Yeah,
yes,
it's
I'll
very
grant you that.
clear and
He's
it's
also
very
not trying to sing
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's also not trying to sing very, very high up compared to the way he used to do. I mean, just think "Carry On, Wayward Son."
Yes.
And you know.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It is the same guy.
Yeah. Same guy. Okay. All right. I'm there. I love the TikTok in the background too.
Watching the rain come pouring down, washing the stain off of this old town. misery loves company. Ain't there something else we can share? Are you still there? Do you still care? That's all I really need to know.
It's a pretty song.
Yeah, it is nice.
Nice harmony.
It scares a man when glory days are gone, but heroes stand. I know I'm not alone. I got pictures in my mind, and the radio takes me back in time. Are you still there? You're in my prayer.
Okay, I can hear it now. Because that's the same singer, right?
It is the same singer.
And you can hear he sounds like he's struggling. His
Yes.
voice does not sound like it's just effortless.
Correct.
All right, you can hear that.
That's all I really need to know. That's all I really need to know. That's all I really need to know.
Late 90s and okay, but I think the best time was the 70s, yeah. With Steve's voice and all the original boys, yes. We are in agreement with whoever made this fan video.
Yes.
Let me plug in the mouse and then we'll see. Carry on my way. And there's the voice. That's the original voice here, Dad. Let me plug this in.
Yes. What's funny about the original voice there,
Yeah, let's look at the.
yeah, there you go. What's funny about the original voice there is that at the beginning of the video for Carry On Wayward Son, the very first person you see there is Robbie Steinhardt, not Steve Walsh.
Ah! Oh, all right, hold on. So this is done by Rune Overby,
Yes.
is the
And
name
with
of the
slash
YouTube
through the
channel.
O, that tells me that Rune Overby is Scandinavian,
Aha, okay. All right, so, but that's the
possibly
fan.
Finland, but
the fan
most
that made
likely
this
it's
video.
Norwegian or Swedish.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
But yeah, the trouble is, as good as that song is, that that's one of only two new songs on the album. They're both pretty good songs. This one is the better of the two, I think.
Okay. It wasn't a bad song. It's a song I'll probably forget about.
But you're in for a treat because as we climb up the ladder here, I mean, even though we're going to obviously have to spend more time than what we really want to down here, this is the nature of the beast when you do ranked list. You know, wait till you see my next Star Trek video. If you haven't seen it already, we're still down the lower third of the ranking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to start somewhere. The fact of the matter is, Kansas has done much better.
Yes.
They've done better in ballads, they've done better in rockers, and everything in between.
Even to a person who's not always, I don't listen to a lot of Kansas, like I could hear the difference
Yes.
in his voice. So
One of the problems, and one of the reasons I'm doing this, quite frankly, is that the people who know, or people who do Kansas reaction videos have concentrated almost entirely on just two songs, or just at least for songs from two albums
okay.
like that, and a lot of people don't realize that there's so much other material.
Good music.
Good music from Kansas. I'll give you one. It's not a spoiler, really. The song, but the song "Carry On, Wayward Son," which everybody, especially Supernatural fans, seem to know.
Yep.
Um,
See, I can hit that note.
yeah. When that's not the best song on the album that it comes from. Left Overture.
It's just
It
the
is
most famous.
fifth best song on the album, even though it was the only single.
Okay.
So you get down to when you start getting into some deep tracks, which you're going to hear a lot of, obviously, as we climb the list here, you're going to hear relatively few singles. I mean, you remember the reaction that you did for Byzantium.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
off the very next album from 2000.
Okay.
It does have-
Yes, I remember that.
It has
but
the
it
same
was-
personnel, including Steve Walsh, still singing on lead vocalist, and he would continue to sing for Kansas for 14 years. So in 2014, he made the wisest decision of his
Excuse
career.
me.
He retired.
Okay. Yeah. His
And-
voice was really needing it.
Yeah, it gradually improved
Well, that's good. He got some good vocal
throughout the
coaches
2000s
and
because
things like that.
he got clean and sober.
Mm-hmm.
But the damage was done.
Yep. Unfortunately.
One of the best voices in rock music just wasn't one of the best voices in rock anymore, and you heard a little bit of that with this song. The little soft first two verses actually
It was nice.
of this were very nice, but that's because he was singing in a very narrow baritone range, and he was doing so softly. It worked perfect.
He wasn't straining.
Yep, he wasn't straining to hit a high note, and the notes that he was hitting at the end are notes that I can hit. And I'm older than he was when he retired. He retired at, I think it was 62,
Yeah, drugs will do that.
and I'm
though.
3 years
Ruin-
older than that now. So
Drugs ruin art.
they do, unfortunately.
Yep.
But we have a lot more Kansas to come, and it keeps on getting better and better as we climb the list.
All right.
So the next one on the list, I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but it is one of the few albums that does not have the traditional Kansas logo
Oh.
on it.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
that's the next one up on the list. And so I'll give you only that hint, and we'll record that next song later
Okay.
at some point here.
Sounds like a plan.
And we'll climb the list of Kansas albums. So if you liked this song, or even if you didn't, or if you have some comments to make about Kansas, or about my reacting to it with the Dafter here,
Yay.
please put your comments on there, click the like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the Kansas albums coming up. And yes, I'm going to be organizing these videos into some playlists,
Ooh,
including this one,
playlists.
so you can actually take in a whole stack of our reaction videos as you please.
Yay.
Like this, I'm going to be continuing, of course, the quality music series as well, and there's going to be some mention of Kansas in one of the future episodes.
Okay.
of
Awesome.
that, including the episode that is actually going to air tomorrow as I record this in October, but you're not going to see this video until mid-November.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
So, like that. If you would like to, please share this video with your friends on social media. I'm actually going to be sharing this video myself with the Kansas group on Facebook.
Oh, yay. Hi, Kansas group.
and see what they say.
All right.
But in the meantime, don't be a donkey of limited intelligence. Instead,
Be an intelligent donkey.
and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Thank you for watching.